You've got to hand it to the Rugby Championship. It is a properly box office competition this year. Anyone can beat anyone on their day, and it could go right down to the wire. And the day started, obviously, Eden Park, already done a video on that one. The day began in Townsville with the Wallabies against Argentina. And, I mean, here's a lesson. Do not get a lead against the Wallabies, especially not a 14-point lead at halftime. You're in trouble, as they have shown again. England have found out what it's like to be ahead of Australia, South Africa, and now Argentina. A famous victory, and the mental resolve that Joe Schmidt has built in this Wallabies team. The turnaround is absolutely remarkable. It is astounding. When you think that they were a bit of an international rugby joke not that long ago. It's amazing to see where they are. And the bravery of the team is amazing. The comeback, but then more than that, rolling the dice multiple times with penalties in front of the posts, the clock in the red, and you could take a guaranteed draw away. And to have the guts, the cojones, to go for the jugular and roll the dice, I mean, they deserve to win for just having the audacious bravery to try it. Because if I were captain on the field, I wouldn't have done it. I'd have walked away with a guaranteed draw. Harry Wilson made a tougher stuff. Joe Schmidt made a tougher stuff, and they followed through. That, I think, I'm right in saying, puts the Wallabies up to number 6 in the world rankings. Pumas down to number 7. The World Cup draw at the end of the year. Very, very interesting. I feel for the Aussie fans as well. Like, they must just want a regulation win by 30 points, because it's stressful, but lots and lots of fun being an Australia fan. If you are a Wallaby, your nerves must be shredded, but they are so much fun to watch. As a neutral, your thoughts, please let me know in the chat down below. Give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe. Argentina, on the flip side, they will be absolutely kicking themselves. The Rugby Championship was opening up for them. They were in a winning position. They kind of did the hard work, and you got to hand it to Australia. But also, I think Argentina will reflect that they let that one get away, and they had a golden opportunity to. Well, they've never won the Rugby Championship, and they would have been thinking, with the way the fixtures have fallen and the way the results went in the first couple of rounds, this could have been their year. There's been a lot of chat, actually, since the games this morning about a lot of statements made. This is why the Rugby Championship's so much better than the Six Nations. Tell me what you think about that. It's an interesting conversation. I'd say, for the record, I mean, it's easy to get whipped up in the excitement of the two games we've seen today, which have been absolutely brilliant. And this year's competition is amazing. Often the Rugby Championship hasn't been this exciting. This year is a particularly exciting, and hopefully this is a sign of how it's going to go in the future. Obviously, there won't really be a Rugby Championship next year, not in the same way, because of the New Zealand tour of South Africa. So, I mean, that's one reason why you'd have to say there's maybe an argument that the Six Nations, because that's been going for 100 and however many years, and there's no way that they would change that. The Rugby Championship, the quality of the rugby on show this year has been amazing. But then again, I thought England-France at Twickenham was incredible. Ireland against France in Dublin this year was amazing as well. I would just say, rather than saying the Rugby Championship's better than the Six Nations or back-to-back, actually, I'd just prefer to focus on the fact international rugby is in an incredible place right now. When you think England, France, Ireland are all going to arrive at the World Cup in 2027, you would think, as genuine contenders, and there's South Africa, New Zealand, and Argentina and Australia are closing the gap all the time, and Scotland are a decent team. Italy are getting better all the time. Fiji are great. It's a brilliant time for international rugby. The one thing I will say about the Six Nations, just to kind of balance that one up, that make an argument as well. You only get one chance in the Six Nations. You get one go at your opponent, and if you mess up, you have to wait until next year. That is the plus side for South Africa and for Argentina. They get to have a second bite of the cherry next weekend, and Argentina will be wanting to kind of reboot, lick their wounds, and come back and show what they're made of, just as they did against New Zealand, in fairness. The Australia backline is just absolutely insane. I love Lenny Kitau and Joseph Alcuso Soali'i are an amazing centre partnership. Corey Toole and Yorgo, gas. I mean, there is just wheels in that Australia backline. And then you think you've got Tate McDermott adding a real impact off the bench. Just the gas, like speed is, and Argentina show this as well. When you look at their backline, Santiago Chocobares is amazing. Santi Carreras, such a dangerous fly half. Mateo Carreras, Juan Cruz Malia, Bautista Delgui. Speed is deadly and so much fun to watch. And yeah, this game showed a lot of it. Although it was a bit clunky to start with. The game did bust open in the end. But just on Australia, while I'm talking about them, I thought Harry Wilson, I mean, he might not be the best. I don't think he is the best number 8 in the world. And actually, if he was another nationality that had more players, he might not get in the international team. But that's just if you judge just purely. There's so many intangibles with Harry Wilson. He might be my favourite number 8 in the world, one of my favourite players, because he plays heart and soul all in, 100% every single moment of every single game. And the dog and the guts and the bravery that he has shown as a leader of Australia has been amazing. I would also say, no Will Skelton. And he's not playing for La Rochelle tonight, so I wonder if the Wallabies are a bit annoyed about that he went back to France and he's not even playing. But Fraser McWright as well. It is McWrong how good McWright is. He was an animal in that game. Zane Nongor was big when he came on as well, improving. So the depth that Australia have got is building. Tom Liner had a bit of a shocker. James O'Connor added a bit of solidity when he came on. So again, that just builds the picture that there is a kind of squad building. But I think the biggest change in Australia, because the players aren't that different, it's just the mentality. It's amazing. As for the Pumas, let's talk about Argentina for a second. Best stash in world rugby. Their blue and white hooped kit is my favourite kit out of any kit in the world. Their change kit, the dark blue with the gold numbering. Oh, mwah, chef's kiss for that as well. It's a thing of beauty. Their anthem is one of the best. And I just love the fact that you have the instrumental part and the crowd are going off like they're at a rave. It's amazing. And I usually have a rule that the more Argentinians cry during the anthem, the more chance they have of winning. The passion is off the charts as well. Thing is, you hardly... The cameraman missed most of the players on the anthem and had to just do a quick catch-up and whiz down the line, mainly because the cameramen in Australia were more fixated on the Argentinian women in the crowd, which I'm okay with as well. Maybe Argentina win that as well. But not a debate we have to have. Let's talk about the rugby. Deadly attack. Argentina have, but they're not complete, and they don't have. If their attack is on point, their defense usually gets leaky. If they start the game well, they'll finish the game weakly. The starting players can play really well. The bench can drop off. They haven't got the ability to just consistently play a full 80 minutes. They managed a brilliant performance against New Zealand a couple of weeks ago, but this was a patchy performance, really, really good moments and really, really bad moments. And that is kind of the story of Argentina. When they're on it, they are so hard to stop. Refereeing, a lot of people have talked about Paul Williams in this game. There was a bit of a Magic 8 Ball kind of feel about his refereeing. You weren't quite sure why and where and how some of the decisions were being made. But I don't like focusing on officials. I think it's weak-minded to talk too much about the referees, because there's 80 minutes in a rugby match, and Argentina cannot look at that game and blame a ref for losing it. Same as South Africa against New Zealand. There are so many things that the team within the 80 minutes can control that you don't need to put the game in the hands of an official. If you're in a situation where you're putting the game in the hands of an official, you've not done enough and you're not taking care of business. And Argentina made so many poor mistakes. In the second half, their discipline was really bad. I think in the second half, they got the yellow card and conceded 8 penalties. And Argentina, by comparison, they only conceded 3 penalties in the first half. So, it's basic stuff. What would I say? Let's go through the actual game itself then. Brilliant game for neutrals. What else did I say? Oh, yeah, Argentina, really poor restarts. There's another basic thing that they could take care of. Australia. Did Australian television have an advert in the middle of the game? Did that really happen, or was that a fever dream? It was really early in the morning, so I wasn't sure if I was seeing that correctly, but there you go. There was about 200 scrum resets in that first half. First 10 minutes was so boring. I got up at... that's another thing, actually. Yeah, I got up at 5:30 to watch that game. The game didn't start till 10:50. What's going on? This seems to always happen with Australia. Why is the advertised kickoff time never the actual kickoff time? And, you know, normally I don't care, but I set my alarm to get up really early and then I had to sit, and Sky Sports weren't even playing the build up to the match. They were playing, I don't know, it was just some random stuff. So, yeah, Australia, sort that out, please. Or at least tell me what the actual kickoff's going to be so I get up for the kickoff. Anyway, what would I say? Yeah, Australia were pretty poor in that early stages. It was 6-0 up to Argentina. They snuck a couple of penalties. There was some Nick White back chat. Taniela Tupou giving away a penalty. Australia had a chance to go for the posts but didn't, and opted to try and go for the try instead of the guaranteed 3, and didn't get it on this occasion. And I was thinking, what are they doing? Not going for the post, not taking the 3 points. I also thought that at the end of the game. I guess I was wrong. I guess even then I was wrong, because Australia got it in the end. There was a try eventually, a try for wing commander White. Honestly, that guy is since retirement, he's been an amazing rugby player. he got a try, soft defense from Argentina, and then the game came alive after about 25 minutes. Suddenly it sparked into life a little bit. Bautista Delgui's try, Santiago Chocobares, what a line he cuts. It's from a scrum, so that all the forwards are tied in. And you see Argentina doing this. They scored 2 first phase tries from scrums. Their backs are so deadly. And a scrum is one of the rare times in a game when 16 forwards are all in a confined space. So there's loads of space for the backs. And clearly, Felipe Contepomi has said, this is when we need to make it count. And the fact that it is man for man, it doesn't matter. Argentina are so quick and so skillful and run such good lines that the space that is afforded by a scrum, and this is why people that don't like scrums need to give their head a wobble, because the scrum is one of the few times in a match when there is loads of space for the backs. And Argentina are showing just how good scrums are for attacking rugby. And they showed it with both of their tries. That Bautista Delgui one, Tom Liner just got turned inside out by the line from Chocobares. Cuts in, fades out, hands, try. 4 minutes later, Mateo Carreras, again from a scrum. There's space on the edge. They get the ball there. Lucio Cinti makes the outside break, gives it to Carreras out the back. A 1-2 between Mateo and Santi Carreras ends up with Mateo scoring the try. So Argentina at this point looking comfortable, 21-7 up at half-time. But Australia, clearly, Joe Schmidt is very good at half-time team talks. Joseph Suaalii, how good does he look? He just eats up the ground. He's so fast. And penalty advantage, Len Ikitau, offload out the back, try. Mateo Carreras gets the yellow card on 62 minutes, and a minute later, Suaalii is in again. There's space on the edge because they're a man short, and he manages to just use his gas to get around the edge. 21 all at this point. 78 minutes, was it? Juan Cruz Malia knocks over a penalty, and you think, there you go, game done and dusted. But Australia, well, they've got some minerals. They have got some proper minerals. Angus Bell going in on 86 minutes. Crowd goes nuts. Australia go nuts, and they've done it again. And the Rugby Championship has done it again. It has delivered another absolute belter of a game. So well done, Australia. Very much worth getting up early for. And those are my thoughts on the match. I'll be back with more thoughts. I'll be back with some player ratings, with some Team of the Week stuff. In the meantime, make sure you hit subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and tell me what you think down below.